What's up with y'all, man? Welcome back to another one. Today we're gonna be looking at some videos going into the elite, some conspiracy type videos. Let's go and get into that.
1930s, the Rothschild-Rockefeller alliance, they began funding scientific studies to look at how musical frequencies can prepare the masses for war. And that's because they wanted to control people. They want that mind control programming. And so in 1938, there was a gentleman named Harold Burroughs-Meyer, and he was a theatrical designer and a sound engineer. And he began developing techniques that would control the emotional response of audiences and to create mass hysteria. And so from there, you have this, this Rockefeller-Rothschild alliance. What they were doing is not only were they looking at ways to steer the masses, but they wanted to change the standard tuning of A to 440 hertz. So in 1939, they began funding Joseph Goebbels, who was the Nazi propagandist. And at that time, Joseph Goebbels, he wanted to change the standard tuning of A. And so he organized a meeting in London to do that, which was a total setup in which, the powers that be had control of what the outcome was going to be. And, as a result, it's not surprising that the standard tuning of A was changed to 440 hertz. And that happened June 1939, just months before World War II broke out. And the timing of that is no coincidence because 440 hertz is a destructive frequency, and that, it can retrain our thoughts towards disharmony, disruption, and disunity.
In this week's episode of Everything is Fake and Lame, did you know that Candace Owens' husband, George Farmer, the son of Lord Farmer, was part of the prestigious Bullingdon Club, a dining club at Oxford University? And the reason why she never addresses this or talks about it publicly is that it wouldn't be a good look if the general public knew her husband was part of the British version of the Skull and Bone, which actually predates it by 50 years. Yeah, it probably wouldn't have been a good look for Candy Owens that her husband was part of a club whose members had direct ties to Jeffrey Epstein. Before Ghislaine Maxwell, before Prince Andrew, Epstein met the Lees family as he moved into the British establishment. Epstein was mentored in the early 1980s by Douglas Lees, a British former arms dealer. You mean intelligence, and eased into the establishment circles by members of the Oxford's infamous Bullingdon's Club, including his eldest son, Nick. Yeah, check out this email from his son, Nick, to Jeffrey. Eton, Oxford, Bullingdon, running the country, what a wheeze. Now, I don't know what a wheeze is. However, I do know he wasn't lying when he said that the Bullingdon Club members run the country. From kings like Edward VII to Edward VIII, 3 prime ministers, David Cameron, Archibald Primrose, who I don't know who that is, but he sounds very prestigious. Who else do we have? Boris Johnson, 2 chancellors, George Osborne and Lord Randolph Churchill. And wait for it, yeah, Nathan Rothschild was also a member of the Bullingdon Club. And anytime you're in the same club as Nat Rothschild, you're on the wrong side.
Yeah, it's just crazy how whenever you look into anything, go back to them people, man.
I would like to thank each and every one of you for your hard work and dedication to our cause. In reviewing this year's progress, let me say that we have been highly effective in conditioning the people's minds to accept our solution to the world's problems. The energy crisis here in the United States was exceptionally successful worldwide, and we expect similar success with our upcoming food shortage. Our labor leaders have made great progress by causing confusion and work stoppages in all areas of the world. Financially, the dollar is being devalued even faster than we could have hoped. Politically, the public has lost total confidence in any form of government. The threat of universal war is a daily possibility. As you know, we ourselves do not need to hold any visible office of leadership. As a matter of fact, it's better that we do not. If we control the finances, news media, food, transportation, energy, we control everything. It is important that you, as world leaders, keep our program before your countrymen. With our World Bank and computer program operational, we now have the capacity to control the financial affairs of every human being on Earth by giving each person his own computer number. Anytime his number is used, we would know his financial situation at once. He could not buy or sell anything without his computer number. It will simplify their lifestyles tremendously. The end result will be a one-world monetary and government system that we alone will control. Yes.
What about the people who forget their number or their cards are lost or stolen?
We've made provisions for that. By using this laser imprinter, we can painlessly and permanently affix the person's number to the back of his hand or his forehead if he so desires. The numbers would be easily read by this new ultraviolet scanning equipment. For the purposes of demonstration, I've had such a number imprinted on myself. Once this number is imprinted, it cannot be lost nor can it be changed. Now, are there any questions?
What about the individuals who refuse to have this number implantation?
We expect some minor resistance, especially from highly motivated religious groups. But eventually, hunger will cause even the most zealous to conform to our program. Gentlemen, I believe that within a year, 2 at the most, our one world government will be a reality. If If we continue on our present course, it is my opinion that we could present the devil himself as a world leader, and the people would accept it.
Threatening the Straits of Hormuz, but quits exporting the Islamic Revolution throughout the region. Involved, but again, their interest.
Yeah, I don't know. Y'all know they put everything in the movies and everything like that, but we living in them days, man. Living in them days.
So our play here, but so our European interests, the rest of the Gulf nations, and so far every has time on his hands. He controls the narrative, he controls the strike capabilities, and he knows that the
look at that hole in his neck. I think that's a mask or nah.
Policy he set with the blockade has had short-term and long-term effects on the regime and the people of Iran. So he's been very astute in leveraging that time.
All right, so Fox News just fucked up big time and aired this guy clearly wearing a mask, undeniable. And they didn't do a very good job at hiding what was going on here. Watch this clip.
The president has time on his hands. He controls the narrative. He controls the strike capability.
I don't know. He might not. I don't know about this.
And he knows.
Now, what I want to know is who are these people behind the mask? These people. Or is it something else? Now, I want you to see this video of this lady, whistleblower from the CIA.
Part of the design. The mask is the culmination of a lot of work that we did at CIA over a period of, I'd say, 10 years, developing that technology. It was a big challenge to come up with something that finally actually animated and worked to really fool a person closer than 3-4 feet from you. But we did.
Now, in my opinion, they're hiding some very demonic figures behind these masks. Nothing is what it seems, guys. And everything that you see in the media is completely controlled to skew your perception on reality. This is why you never watch the news. Never pay attention to what celebrities are saying or politicians are saying. It's all the same entities. Demons, straight up. And this is exactly why the world is in the state that it's in. Stay awake and stay aware. And don't forget to like, share, and follow for more hidden truth.
Yeah, man, when I was growing up, my grandmother always told me to watch the news. And I did as I became an adult. But you can't believe nothing on there, man. And then the things that they do have on there, it ain't nothing worth viewing. Like, they had celebrity stuff on there. It be real events going on, real catastrophic events going on. And they be talking about some celebrity gossip type stuff. It's crazy.
Okay, someone put together this video, which completely exposes the truth about what's going on with Iran, with this whole conflict. His name is Solar Cast Archive. And you need to hear this because it is literally what's going on. There's all kinds of stuff you can get wrapped around the axle thinking it's because Trump, it's because Iran, it's because Israel. Listen to this because this is the real reason behind this conflict.
The 2026 Iran war is not about nuclear weapons or freedom. It is a manufactured crisis designed to spike oil prices and lock in the next phase of control.
That's a heavy claim. Walk me through the receipts.
Oil prices jumped over 40% in the first few weeks, exactly like 1973, 1991, 2003, and 2011. Every major Middle East conflict conveniently creates an oil shock.
You're saying the pain is intentional?
Yes. Then they roll out the solution, electric vehicles. They tell you EVs will save you from high gas prices.
But most people can't afford a $50,000 electric car when everything is already expensive. So what happens when they can't buy the EVs either?
Exactly. Then comes the next step they already have planned. 15-minute cities. Everything you need. Food, work, healthcare, locked inside a small zone. Your movement, spending, and behavior scored by AI in real time.
This is convenience disguised as a cage.
Precisely. Higher oil prices create the crisis. EVs offer the expensive trap. 15-minute cities finish the job. This is not random foreign policy. It is economic warfare.
What if I told you that all...
I seen that during the pandemic trial where they was talking about the 15-minute cities and the World Economic Forum and all that stuff, which I think is crazy, man. I don't even want to live in this city anyways.
All corporations are actually just one giant mega corporation. And I'm not talking about metaphorically. And I'm not talking about BlackRock. I'm talking about what's really behind BlackRock. See, we hit 1 million followers on TikTok this week. And I've been waiting to post this video since the very first video that I made, laying the groundwork of understanding so that we're all going to understand this now that we're here. So let's break it down real simple. If you're gonna go grocery shopping at a corporate grocery store, all of these corporations are owned by these institutions. They're highlighted in red if they're on all 4 of these sheets. They're darker orange if they're on 3 of them, and light orange if they're on 2. And there's only a couple that only appear once. It's mostly the same money. But we go deeper. If you go for the biggest tech companies, it's basically the exact same list for all 4 of these. That would be Vanguard, BlackRock, State Street, Fidelity, T. Rowe Price, Geode, which is similar to Fidelity Associated, JP Morgan, Morgan Stanley. And then Northern Trust is on 3 of them, and Capital World Investors is the exact same thing as Capital Research and Management Company. So you might think, okay, these are the institutions that own the whole stock market, but who owns them? And see, if you've been around here for a minute, you already know. They all own each other. Just a giant cross ownership pool. And this is where it gets really interesting. Because see, way back before I'd even posted a single video, I was sitting in my office reading this report from an anonymous user on Reddit. And he had noticed the exact same thing that I'm talking about right now. And he wrote a program to put all that data into a visualization so we can see who owns who. And I'm about to show you what he figured out. Let's take BlackRock, for example. This is a list of the top institutional owners of BlackRock and how much of the company they own.
Let me ask y'all this, man. Is this really surprising to y'all that all these corporations own each other and they probably go back to like a couple elite families like that? It's not surprising to me.
And if you visualize it, it looks like this, where the whole square is all of BlackRock's stock, and they get a percentage of that square based on how much they own. And the important colors to note are that white symbolizes us, retail investors, and gray symbolizes insiders that work at the company. So that would be like Larry Fink's stock, among other people. And everything else is other giant corporations, investment banks. Like BlackRock themselves own a little bit. State Street owns some. Capital World Management owns some. Bank of America owns some. You see how this works? But then you think about it and you're like, well, wait a minute, because all of these institutions are owned by other institutions, right? So what if we put that data in here? Well, he did. And it looks like this. And you realize that all of this that was owned by Merrill Lynch is actually owned by all of these other institutions and a little bit of us, retail, up there at the top. But here, we've only replaced Merrill Lynch's section. What about all of these guys? Well, then it looks like this. Remember, white is retail investors like you and me, and everything else is giant mega corporations. And if you go one layer deeper, filling in all those corporations with their corporations, you see how this program's working? And so then we simplify it to just black, gray, and white. And this is who owns BlackRock. White is retail investors like you and me. Gray is insiders at all of these corporations like CEOs and other executives. And black is just corporations owning each other. We'll call it Megacorp. This is the same process done for Bank of America and for State Street and for Best Buy, Amazon, Macy's. Groceries, food, ingredients, building and selling homes, even less white, meaning us, retail ownership. As far as I can tell, there's only one company on the entire stock market that is not owned by Megacorp. Can you guess who it is? Do you know? It's GameStop. Except that this photo's out of date because it's from a few years ago. It probably looks more like this if you believe the public info, which is a big if. But more on that another time. This is not a video about GameStop. This is about Megacorp. Because see, when all of the owners own each other, all of their interests are aligned. BlackRock wants State Street to do well because State Street wants BlackRock to do well because they both own each other. So who is the real final boss behind all the money? Well, isn't that the $1 million question?
All right, Tribe, thanks for coming through. Y'all go ahead and subscribe. I'm gonna holler at y'all next time, man. Peace.
We turn a massive conspiracy to a miniature problem. Package and pass it through media like nobody was spotted. Just look at all of the people who went and chilled on the island with girls and women experience unsolicited violence. It's hard